Hello friends and enemies. You might notice things look a little bit different today. That's because I am not at home. I am in the wilds of the New Mexican desert. Well, I'm inside, but in theory, I'm in the wilds of the New Mexican desert. Where exactly? That's classified. Anyway, we did a poll on Instagram asking which toys we should take with us to review, and y'all chose the mummy. Well, maybe not you specifically, but some people on Instagram did. So yeah, I thought I would be cute and film this in front of a panorama of the New Mexican desert with the mountains in the background, but the sun is setting quick, so I gotta do this quick, or else it's just not cute anymore. NECA's The Mummy. Very nice packaging featuring artwork from promotional materials for the movie, promotional image on the side, nothing but promotional images on the back. Choking hazard, not for children under 3 years. If you give this to a child under 3 years old, you will have your brain pulled out from your nose. And on the bottom, the nice touch I always like of having a lot of people who were involved in the manufacturing of the product listed on the box. Just a nice touch, I think. People work hard on these things. So we've got this Velcro flip cover, and there is our first look at the mummy. So another promotional picture on the inside, and then a window into the inner machinations of the box, which is just the toy. So, without further ado, let's open this. We've done another vacation review, and that was Bison Toys Anubis. So a bit of a theme going on here. And that was last year, I think. Once you've got him out of the package, on the inside you can see a nice little scene depicting the sarcophagus. But that's enough of that, we don't need the box anymore. Now it's time to free him from his clamshell. I need to find a knife. I found something better than a knife. I found scissors. Everything I could ever want. Full disclosure, I have never seen The Mummy. You know, the old Boris Karloff version. Never seen it. I assume I get the gist of it, though. He's a mummy and he comes to life, probably, right? So he's got the mummy wrappings on him, and in certain parts they are intricately sculpted. Like on the feet here, quite a lot of nice detail there, and in certain areas like on the back. But everywhere else, the sculpting is mainly just striations, so not a lot of overt detail with the wrappings, actually. So yeah, I could go with a little bit deeper detail on these wraps, or a bit more detail like on the back here throughout the rest of the body. But like I said, I have not seen the movie, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. I assume it is. Got a pretty gross head here. And what's interesting about this is that it looks like a mummy, but it also looks like a person in old age makeup, right? Like you can even see details of the hair where it was smoothed back and colored gray. I guess Boris Karloff didn't want to shave his hair off for this role. And of course, if you've ever sculpted a face mask or know anything about face masks, it is very difficult to make one where it looks like the nose is gone or the nose isn't visible. So they gave him a little peek of his real nose out, hanging out. So he still gets his nose as a treat. Detail on the hands is fantastic. They're very shriveled and gross, especially these fingertips, blackened on the ends. You've got the tiny detail of this little ring. So yeah, the sculpt is good. Nothing I'm blown away by, but I don't need to be blown away by anything. The paint apps are pretty great. You definitely get a sense of age with this. Age and lots of dirt. So let's do articulation really quick. Down, up. Oh, look at that. He can tilt. Of course, rotation. He's a mummy. You've got a little movement in this neck here, but it is hard to get that to swivel. Up. Swivel. Bicep swivel. Elbow. And I think technically this is a double elbow. The entire hinge for the elbow seems to be this large point right here, but it still can't go up very far. But also, he's a mummy. I mean, he's pretty limited in what he can do. You've got up and down and swivel on the wrists. A nice twist at the torso. A little bit of crunch. Some arc back, but then it's gonna look a little bit funny because you can see into his inner workings right there, and it's not a skeleton. It is a ball joint. Twist at the waist as well. High kick. Forward. Single knee back, pivot, and rocker on that ankle. And the bottom of the feet are sculpted with the wrappings too, which is a really cool detail, but also it makes him a little bit harder to stand up on his own. Definitely a good figure to bring out with you to the desert though. So, as you can see, he is asleep right now, but he comes with alternate heads, and they are both awake. I think. This one, it's a little hard to tell, but it's that same kind of old age makeup, face sculpt, and paint with some tiny detail of red eyes. And they're very small, like kind of cracked open, and the color kind of blends in with the rest of them. So it's hard to tell that they're open, but they are. I like how this mummy still has ears. All these millennia have passed, but this guy hung on to his ears. And here we have kind of what I would call a zombie expression. I mean, what is a mummy if not just a really old zombie? And I love the detail of the mouth just being totally asymmetrical, just kind of like wrenching downward and open. The eyes kind of blankly staring forward. He's doing the thing. Right? Speaking of the thing, we also have an extra pair of hands. And actually, these are the same hands, aren't they? Why did we get two of the same hands? Were we supposed to get two different ones? I mean, I guess they're a little bit different, but I think that's just kind of because of warping. Interesting. So yeah, I looked it up, and these are the hands we were supposed to get. I guess they're just in slightly different poses. We get some extra bandages to drape over him, and they are rubbery and really malleable. Do all sorts of stuff and then snap back to position, so that's nice. So you can kind of wrap these around wherever. And this is really cool. You get a chest, and I really like the detail here. But other than the sculpted detail and the gold printing on the sides and the top, it's a little plain. I think I would have liked a little bit more paint on it, just to make it look a little bit older and more weathered, you know. But it can be opened, and inside is a scroll. Not a scroll, a scroll. So that is a fun inclusion. Not much you can do with it, in my opinion. I guess unless you have a dedicated mummy display, which you might. I don't know your life. But he does look good next to the chest. So let's see if we can switch out a head and an arm. Hand arm. Oh, and he is... Man, I think a real mummy's head would come off pretty easily, but this one's does not want to go. All right. Oh, and this is interesting to see on the back. This is how they did the mouth. It's open there. You can see the red inside, and it's this little inclusion here. It's just neat to see stuff like that. How they make these things, work so hard on them, on these things, and then I look at them and go, neat. Or I look at them and go, oh, I don't like that. But you know, ultimately, it doesn't matter what I like and what I don't like. It matters what you like and don't like. You can only be true to yourself, you know? And that shoulder joint is fantastic for positioning the arms straight out. Curse of the Mummy. What does the mummy do? I mean, it doesn't seem like a mummy could cause much damage. It's like a zombie. They move pretty slow. They've got bandages to slow them down. Unless we're talking about the Mummy and the Brendan Fraser classic, The Mummy. That mummy can do a lot of damage. So we've got these wrappings. Just extra thingies that can go around him. And I don't know where exactly they're supposed to go. I think they can just go wherever. Like maybe these are the frayed remains of his head wrappings or something. I can buy that. He's a NECA. He stands a little bit larger than things like Marvel Legends Icarus, but he should fit in perfectly with your other NECA figures. And I gave him a dinosaur from Creative Beast Studios just for the fun of it.
Oh, my mighty beast.
Whoa.
So yeah, he is a fun figure. If you like the Mummy, I would recommend him. If you like mummies in general, I would recommend him. If you like NECA, I would recommend him. If you like the desert, I would recommend you go to the desert.
White boy.
So that is all for us today. I hope you enjoyed this super special desert vacation review. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one.